Complex literal equations. The objective of this video is to solve an equation for a given variable. So first we want to recall lesson 11 where we solved for simple literal equations. So if I have u equals 3x over 4, I want to solve for x by getting rid of the 4 first. So we need to multiply. 4 times u is just 4u. That would cancel out, so I am left with 3x. Then we would need to divide by 3. So x is equal to 4u minus 3. What makes lesson 12 more complex is there are no numbers, so we can't do any combining, and depending on where the variable is located might be a little difficult and require a lot of manipulation. So I want to get x by itself. So I'm going to get rid of d and r first because they are not attached to the variable. So I'm going to do opposite by adding d and adding r. So that means that g plus d plus r gets the d and r to the left side. And now I'm left with c over x. Because my variable x is on the bottom, this requires me to do a special mathematical procedure that only works when I have two equations equal to each other. So I'm going to set this left side over 1 to create a fraction. And once I have these two fractions, I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom with the other fraction. So I am not actually going to multiply this out. I'm just going to say x times g plus d plus r. And that has to equal 1 times c, which is c. Now remember, our goal is to get x by itself. So because x is being multiplied with everything in these parentheses, the opposite is to divide by everything I want to get rid of. So g plus d plus r. And you have to do the same thing on the other side. This cancels out. It turns into the number 1, which is why we did that. So x is equal to c over g plus d plus r. So here I want to solve for the variable a. So that means I want to get rid of k, v, and w by doing the opposite. So because k is positive, we are going to subtract, so minus k. Because v is positive, we're going to subtract, so minus v. Same thing, minus w. And we're going to do that to both sides. So I'm left with u minus k minus v minus w. And that is equal to, well, what was left? K is canceled out, v is canceled out, and w is canceled out. So now a is all by itself. So this would be my answer. So one last question. I want to isolate my variable a. So I need to get rid of b and c. Because b is not a part of the variable group, we are going to get rid of b first by adding, so plus b. So we have g plus b, because we can't actually do that addition, so we just write what we see, equals c over a. So now, again, I have my variable on the bottom side, and I know that all of the letters are technically variables because there are no numbers. The variable I am talking about is a, because a is the one that we want to solve for. So that's the one we are treating as the variable. I want to get that by itself, so I'm going to cross multiply. I'm going to create the left side into a fraction by putting it over 1, and I'm going to multiply g plus b times a. So I'm just going to do that on this side. So I'm going to write a times g plus b. And that has to equal 1 times c, which is just c. So now if I want to get my a by itself, I need to get rid of the g plus b, which is being multiplied with a. So the opposite is to divide g plus b on both sides. That cancels out because that just turns into the number 1. So a is equal to c over g plus b.